is our go-to doctor for health and fitness advice, right? But he's also a best-selling author releasing his 25th book.
Yeah, he's impressive. It's titled The Overnights. Back to tell us about this new novel is Dr. Ian Smith. So good to have you back, Dr. Ian.
Always good to be back and see you guys. Thanks for having me.
This is your 25th book, but 5th novel.
Yes.
Right? And the 3rd installment of your Ash Kane Private Investigator series. This one's piqued our interest because it involves media.
Yeah. So the story basically is Morgan Shaw is the prime anchorwoman, #1 in the city in ratings. And during ratings period, which we call sweeps, she's trying to maintain her throne. And someone across the street is trying to take it away from her. And she's investigating the shooting of an unarmed man. And she thinks if she can put this story together and get it on air, she's going to keep her #1 ratings, but someone else has a different idea about what should happen.
Is Morgan based off anyone we know?
Morgan is a compilation of anchor people who I have worked with and have met through the years being in the media. So yeah, so you will see bits and pieces of people you will recognize.
Oh, very intrigued.
There you go.
So the good thing about this story is that, you know, people never get a chance to see behind the news. I mean, they see us, you know, on TV. This takes people behind the news, and we all know that the news is competitive. It's vindictive sometimes. People are trying to get that big scoop and get that big interview. So this gives readers a chance to see how the news is made and kind of all the machinations that go behind it.
Right. You know what's interesting? So let me ask you a quick question, because you know everyone knows you as the doctor we have on for health stuff. You've written so many books about diets and so on and so forth. What made you want to get into this like murder mystery kind of investigative series?
Well, I've always been a big reader of mysteries and thrillers. I like to watch it, crime fiction, and so this is something that just came natural to me.
Yeah.
And because I love to watch and read it so much, I said to myself, I would love to be able to write stories like this that kind of keep me up late at night, you know, trying to read another chapter, which is how I feel when I read some of these series. So I wanted to create a book where people are like, I got to get another page, I got to get another page. And so here goes The Overnights. And by the way, this is the 3rd installment of the Ash Kane PI series. So there are 2 before that. So it's fun. I think series are fun. Like, I like to read series where I can go to the next book and the next book, and that's my inspiration.
And everyone knows you as Dr. Ian, but you really have a lot of experience in news because you were a correspondent back in the day, right?
I was. Here in New York City, I was a correspondent, and that's how I got started. It was a lot of fun, and so I drew on my own personal experience to do this. In fact, for fun, this is my 25th book, so I decided to do a $10,000 mystery contest. So there are 5 sets of clues and 5 questions, and whoever can solve all clues and questions related to the book, they could win $10,000. The information is in my Facebook group, which is called The Good Reading Room. So join my group, The Good Reading Room, or my Instagram at Dr. Ian Smith.
Wait, so what do they need to solve?
So there are 5 sets of clues, and there are 5 questions related to those clues. And if you can get all 5 right, and it's related to the book, The Overnights, you can win $10,000.
Oh, so the trivia is on your Facebook and they can answer there?
Yep, on my Facebook, The Good Reading Room, and my Instagram, the link in my bio, at Dr. Ian Smith.
10 grand on the table.
10K. 10 stacks, as they say.
You know what I'm doing the rest of the day. Also, the book takes place, and the story takes place in Chicago, right?
Yes.
So is Chicago really becoming a character itself in the book?
Yeah, in fact, people, when they read the book, if they've not been to Chicago, they say how this is like a roadmap to Chicago. So the cities, the streets, the restaurants, the lakes, the sports, everything, the neighborhoods of Chicago, it's all in there. So people enjoy it because they get a feeling that they're actually in Chicago.
Yeah.
And real quick, we talked about Morgan, but tell us about Ash Kane and what's next.
So Ash Kane is a former Chicago police detective who leaves under kind of a cloud, doesn't want to participate in a cover-up, becomes a private investigator, and hangs up his own shingle and takes on very select cases in and around the city. He's irreverent, he's tough, he's smart, he has romance problems, but he's a fighter for justice, and that's who Ash Kane is. And you root for him. He's a flawed hero, but you root for him. And the next book, the next installment, is called Eagle Rock, and it's already ready to go, and that should be fun, too.
You have another, but what?
I told you guys, the pandemic, I did a lot of writing during the pandemic, so that was one of the few good things that came out of it. But yeah, I just love writing. It's easy, it's fun, and I love stories. As you guys, you know, talk about stories all day, I just love good stories.
Of course, Ash Kane sort of reminds me of Detective Stabler. You root for him, right? But he has this past that's, you know.
He's got some things that are going on, and and Ash Kane's thing, he has a romance issue. Yeah. So he looks great on paper.
Why'd you look at me?
Don't we all?
She looked right at me.
She looked right at you, not at me, by the way. But you still root for him. He's still a good guy, and he's a hero you want to say, go get him. Because he won't stop until he gets the bad guys.
Okay, there you go.
Amazing. Always so good to have you.
You're from Chicago.
I live in Chicago, but I'm from here on the East Coast, Connecticut and New York.
All right, so deep dish, where do you go?
Deep dish. Why do people always say deep dish for Chicago? There's so much more.
Because that's what you're known for.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a New York slice guy, and people know that on my Instagram. So.
Right, but you don't go to Chicago for a New York slice.
I know, but I actually find New York slice pizza in Chicago. Believe it or not.
But it's not real.
And it drives my family crazy. Like, you don't live in New York anymore. You're in Chicago. We eat deep dish.
It's like a thing in Chicago, deep dish.
It's all right. Lou Malnati's all right.
Yeah, that's the one.
Lou
I called it Illuminati's.
Illuminati's. That's right. But I'm still a New York guy, though.
Right, there you go. Okay, very cool.
All right, Dr. Ian, thanks so much for coming
Romance.
on.
Romance problems. Just like it was like not even quick enough. Books now out everywhere. Good to see you, Doctor.
The Overnights. That's a good cover too.
Yeah.
Glad you like it.